2 years ago, I have reviewed Steadicam Smoothie for iPhone 5 and GoPro. Steadicam just released this, a universal mount for Steadicam Smoothie. Long before Steadicam released this universal mount, I actually did one myself with the stuff I have in this house. You can either buy a Steadicam Smoothie with universal mount, and if you already have one, just like I do, you can get this and start using it with almost every phone out there. And here it is, perfectly supporting my iPhone 6 Plus, but in this case, Steadicam is not alone anymore, because now there is this guy, and this is war. Spider-Man!
iPhonedo is here, don't you worry my dear. I'll open up the boxes and tell you what's in it.
We're going to Apple Store to grab this FeiYu G4 Gimbal. You can buy 2 smoothies in price of 1 FeiYu.
Won't hide away from me. Can't run from.
Oh my god, you killed Kenny! On one side, Rocky, and on the other side, Apollo. Or in this case, we may call this Rocky versus Drago. Because this is completely motorized and it balances by itself. You don't need to do much except change the weights. But this is manual. As you can see, it's perfectly balanced. If your phone is above certain size, you just need to add this weight. This was the mount for iPhone 5 and it's ridiculously sturdy. It is so sturdy that every time I used this, I was afraid that it was gonna scratch my phone. But this new mount is a little Let's talk about pros and cons. Yes, you can use a case with this one, and no, if you have an iPhone 6s Plus or a similar phone, you cannot use a case because this gap closes. This one has a battery, and when the battery dies, the gimbal dies. This one doesn't have a battery, you can play with it until you get tired of it. FeiYu is easy to store, it's easy to put in your backpack and go. You can even put this in your back pocket if you like. But on the other hand, this is not very easy to store, but it has a belt clip and you can hang it by your belt. This is more like an auto-tuned song, where this is more like Freddie Mercury. You may have seen a lot of videos about these products, and most of them say they do not work. The reason they say that, they don't know how to use this because this requires practice. On the other hand, the second you start this, even though I'm holding this my left hand, it's very easy to use. I have 2 words for you. Garrett Brown. Garrett Brown is the inventor of Steadicam. He is the guy flying the camera on that iconic Rocky scene where Sly runs up the stairs. And that was in 1970s, which makes Steadicams legendary. Now let's take a look what I can do with this gimbal. I look around using this. And back here I have the battery indicator. See, it's blinking. If I click it once, when I twist the handle, the camera follows me. The tilt doesn't change. If I click it twice, I can change the tilt as well. If I click it 3 times, it turns into selfie mode. And if I click it 4 times, it resets. But this has some issues. For example, here you can see so you have to get used to that a little bit. You can connect this to a tripod or a monopod and you can use its remote. Yes, it has a remote. By the way, FeiYu changed their logo to this, which looks very much like DJI. It chose to have a logo that says FU, FY, which is kind of the same thing when you think about it. You can also undo this and lift your camera up a little bit like that. And then it becomes something you can use for a Viagra commercial or something. Steadicam feels real. Steadicam is something that you are fully in control of. But on the other hand, I can do interesting tricks with this. I can hold it like this and hold it really close to the ground, shoot a video really close to the floor, which with this, it is not that possible because then your hand is in the way. I think it's time to go outside and see which one does what. I really cannot choose which one I like better. This is like Batman versus Superman. It is like Iron Man versus that douchebag. Even FeiYu and Tiffin know what's gonna happen. So one of them liked my tweet and the other one retweeted it. It's on. But how can you figure out which one is the best? What kind of test would put these gimbals to the ultimate challenge? What can I do? The answer, my friends, lies back in the day. Lies in 1970s. Yes, it's time for the Rocky scene. Thank you very much for watching this episode and I hope you enjoyed it. What did you pick? What do you think is the better choice? Would you go for Steadicam Smoothie or would you go for FeiYu G4 Pro? Let me know what you pick in the comment section below. And until I see you the next time, take really good care of yourselves and hoşçakalın. What is this? What's it doing? I think this is the Titanic mode. Oh, now it balanced. Oh, this looks like a face. It's the charger for FeiYu. This is my second time with the FeiYu. And this is Anya's second time with Steadicam Smoothie. How did you feel?
Good.
What was the main difference for you?
I don't know. I mean, this time when I tried it, because the other one was set differently, I felt like I had the control I wanted the last time that didn't really work out. But this one still feels like I'm, you know, like I'm not doing anything. I'm just kind of holding it. The other one, I feel like the directions I have to move it, they're so abrupt, and I just want like a subtle movement, and I can't get the subtle.
Yeah,
So like this one, if I want to be like really subtle, I can be.
I see.